All right. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I trust and believe that we are doing fine wherever we are joining this Zoom from. Welcome to our training. We are going to continue from where we left yesterday. Greetings to all the leaders that are also joining us this morning in the Zoom. We are humbled to have you here. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, this is Coach Mopiiwa joining you from Johannesburg. If you can hear me, give me one in the chat. If you can hear me, give me one in the chat. If my voice is audible on your side, can I see one in the chat? Just testing my microphone. Okay, all right, that's enough. That's okay. Okay, so yesterday we looked at the candlestick anatomy. If you were here yesterday, I'm sure you understand what I mean when I say the candlestick anatomy. So today we are going to pick it from there, then we're going to go forward. All right, so let me check out if you still remember when we were talking about candlestick anatomy. Yes, when we were talking about the candlestick anatomy. Yes. Can I have four parts of a candlestick? Can you please give me four parts of a candlestick? I want you to name them. I want you to name them. Four parts of a candlestick. Can you name four? Four parts of a candlestick. Four parts of a candlestick. Can you please name the four parts of a candlestick? Somebody just give me one. I said I want four. I said I want four. Someone only gives me one. I need four of them. 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 Okay, all right. Thank you so much. The open, the close, the high, the low, and some they are giving me extra, which is the body. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Okay, between the buyers and the sellers, between the buyers and the sellers, who open their market at the top? Between the buyers and the sellers, who open their market at the top? I want to see if you were following yesterday. Between the buyers and the sellers, who open their market at the top? Who open their market at the top? Who open their market at the top? Okay, thank you so much. It's the sellers who open the market at the top. Okay, then we looked at body sizes of the candlestick. Body sizes of the candlestick. All right, we looked at the body sizes of the candlestick. Allow me to ask one question from there. All right, we spoke about candlestick being long in size and other candlestick being short in size. Can you tell me why, what makes a body of a candlestick to be short? What makes the body of the candlestick to be short? What makes the body of the candlestick to be short? What makes the body of the candlestick to be short? What makes the body of the candlestick to be short? What makes the body of the candlestick to be short? I'm talking of short, not long. I'm talking of short, not long. So what makes the body of the candle to be short? All right, thank you so much. Yes, it is volume or it is pressure. Okay, it is volume or it is pressure. So it can be, if you can be specific, then you are going to talk about low pressure or low volume. All right, because I said that we normally trade volume. Okay, so the size of the body of the candlestick carries very important information to you as a trader to know what is happening in the market the moment you open your market, the moment you open your trading view. Okay, so the shape of the candle should signify something to you so that you are able to understand that is it the time for me to start navigating the market, or is it the time for me to enter the market or to exit the market? Okay, so that's what we ended our training yesterday about a candlestick, However, we did not finish on the candlestick itself. There is one thing that we need to conclude this morning before we go to the other part that we needed to navigate through for our syllabus in this training. Okay, so allow me to share my screen. Let me open trading view first. Then we're gonna go to our slide. Okay, can you be able to see my screen? If you can see my screen, give me one. I know it's loading, but if you are able to see, something on your side on the screen, give me one in the chat. If you are able to see something on the screen on your side, give me one in the chat. Give me one in the chat. If you are able to see something on the screen, give me one in the chat. Give me one in the chat. Okay. So there is something that I want us to discuss this morning that we did not finish about parts of a candlestick. All right. So, maybe let me come here and use these candles right here. Let me use these candles right here. Okay. Okay, so we said yesterday, if you remember very well, that a candlestick should have the opening price. It should also have the closing price. So we said if it is a candlestick for buyers, it should have the opening price at the bottom and the closing price is right on top. Okay, if it is for sellers, the opening price, it should be on top and it should close here at the bottom. And we said that sometimes you are going to see a candlestick. Can you see this is a 4-hour time frame, right? It's a 4-hour time frame, meaning to say every candle that you see here, it took 4 hours to develop and to complete. All right. Every candle that you see here, it took 4 hours to develop and to complete. Now, why is it that this candlestick is longer than this candlestick? All right. Why is it that this candlestick is longer than this candlestick, but both of them, they took 4 hours? That's why we were talking about volume. Okay, we were talking about volume and pressure. Okay, we were talking about volume and pressure. We spoke about strong pressure. Okay, so it can be strong pressure either for buyers or it can be strong pressure either for sellers. Okay, so you can see how filled this candle is. All right, So you can see that the way the candle is filled to the extent that when you look at the closing, can you see the closing is almost the high of the what? Of the market or of this session. It is having a very small shadow that you cannot even notice if you don't see it, if you don't enlarge it. You may not see that this candle is having a shadow at the top there. Okay, so I was saying sometimes you are going to find a candle that has got no shadow on top, or probably it doesn't also have a shadow at the bottom. All right, so in that case, where is the high of the market and where is the low of the market? A candle that has got no shadow. Okay, today I want to speak more about shadows. So I'm saying sometimes you'll find a filled up candle. It has got no shadow. These things that are at the end of the body, whether on top or at the bottom. All right. So you will find a candlestick that is filled and it does not have these shadows. So in this case, where is the low of the market? Where is the high of the market? Okay. All right. So the high of the market becomes the close. If it is a green candle, where the market closed becomes the high of the market. Because if you draw a line here going to this side, you are going to see that this side there is a price. All right. If you take your measuring instrument, you measure, okay, you draw a line from here going this side, you will see that at this side there is price that is connected. Okay, so where the price closed becomes the high of the market. Okay, where price opened, because this candle we are imagining that it does not have a what? It does not have a shadow. Okay, so where price opened becomes the low of the market. That is how low the price went. All right, so you need to understand that in the case of a candle that has got no wicks or shadows, where is the high and where is the low? Are we together? Now, let me emphasize now on the issue of shadows. Let me explain what are shadows. All right, then we will take it from there. We will take it from there. All right, so we need to know that when the market is opened, where we call it the open, sometimes you will discover that because of pressure in the market, okay, because of pressure between buyers and sellers in that particular trade session, you will see that the candle will display, okay, will display these parts. It's either at the top of the body or at the bottom of the body. Okay, so these parts which are on top of the body or at the bottom of the body, they are called shadows. Okay, they are called shadows or they are called wicks. Are we together? These are things. They are called shadows or they are called wicks. All right. Do they carry any important information to you as a trader? Do they carry any important information to you as a trader? So when the wick is found on top of the body, it is called an upper shadow or upper wick. Okay? When the wick is on top or the shadow is found on top of the body, it is called upper shadow. When it is on at the bottom here, it is called lower shadow. Are we together? So that's how you differentiate the two. All right. So when you found upper shadows, I hope you have grasped the idea of saying upper and lower. Okay. So upper shadows. Can you see if you draw a line where this shadow ended? When you draw a line where this shadow ended, you are going to connect that there is a price here. Okay, there is a price at this side. So upper shadows signifies that price went high. Okay, or it signifies that the session went high. Remember, it's a trading session. All right, so upper shadows signify the session went high, while lower shadows signifies that the session went low. Okay, the session went low. This is the law of the market. So the shadows, they communicate that that particular session, yes, that particular session went high or it went low. All right, now we needed to also understand how these shadows, they are formed. Okay, I want us now to base our discussion on how these shadows are formed. Or probably before I go there, let me come back to the Zoom. Let me come back to the Zoom and find out if we are together. If we are together, give me a 1 in the chat if I have carried you with from the beginning. Give me 1 in the chat if I have carried you with from the beginning. Give me 1 in the chat if I am with you in this training, if you are really following. Okay, all right. So let's proceed now. Muhammad, ask your question in the chat. I cannot open the microphone now. If you're having a question, please drop it in the chat. All right. I see Muhammad, you're raising up your hand. Write your question in the chat there, then I'll be able to pick it up. All right. I'm going to only allow mics being opened at the end of the session. All right. Yeah. So if you're having a question now, just type it in the chat, then I'll pick it there. Okay. So let me come here and then use the same shadows to explain now how shadows are formed. How shadows are formed. Or probably let me just pick my slide here, then we use it. Let me just use this slide over here. Okay. So I was talking about long shadows. Okay. I was talking about long shadows. All right. They can be long, they can be short. But the idea is we are talking about shadows. So some are short, some are long. But we want to know how these shadows are formed. Okay, how these shadows are formed. So now, this is a black candle. It represents sellers. Okay, can you see the candle is black? It represents sellers. Remember, I explained yesterday that in my slides, you are going to see white and black candles. All right, so white is for buyers, black is for sellers. All right, so this is a candle for sellers and this is a candle for buyers. Okay, so you can see that in this case, the longer shadow is at the bottom. Okay, is at the lower side. This candle is having a longer lower shadow. Okay, this one is having a longer upper shadow. Can you see the difference? Okay, are you able to see the difference here? Because I'm about to say something. This candle is having a longer upper shadow. It is called upper shadow because it is on the upper side of the body. All right, this one is longer, okay, but it is a lower shadow because it is found at the bottom of the body. Now, when you see a candle that is having a longer upper shadow, let's start talking about longer upper shadow first. so that we can understand what normally happens. So if a candlestick has a longer upper shadow, okay, and a lower shadow, I mean a short lower shadow, can you see this one is long and this one is short? So I'm saying if you see a candlestick that is having a longer upper shadow and a short lower shadow, what has happened here? First, you need to understand that when the market opened, okay, when the market opened, in this case, because you need to identify the opening of the price, what happened for the candle to have a longer upper shadow and a shorty lower shadow here. So I'm saying when a candlestick is having a longer upper shadow and a short lower shadow, this means that it is buyers who flexed their muscles high. What do I mean? I said that shadows signifies higher session. Remember, we are looking at the high of the market and at the lower or the low of the market. So when you see a candle with a longer upper shadow, it simply means it is buyers who pushed the price high up. Okay? It is buyers who push the price high up. But for one reason or another that we may not come up with, for one reason or another that we may not know what happened, sellers, they came in, they did push this price back. Probably let me go to trading view so that we use a live candle. Yeah, let me come to trading view so that you understand what I mean here, because it's very important for you to understand the formation of the shadows. All right, the formation of the shadows is very important for you to understand that. So let's look for a candle that is having a longer upper shadow. Okay, let's use this candle here. Allow me to use this green candle, this one. Okay, allow me to use this green candle. Now the market opened here. That's where the market opened. When this session started, the market or the price opened right here. When this session opened right here, the first activity that took place in this candle, the first activity that took place in this candle, when the market opened here, sellers started to sell. That's why you see the shadow here. Okay, so when the price opened here, the activity of selling took place up to this far where the low of the market is. When sellers started selling up to this far, then buyers came in. They started pushing the price to the opening, which is here. Remember, this price opened here. When it opened here, it went down here. When it went down here, buyers came in. They started buying until they went back to the opening price. They pushed the price to the opening. When they reached the opening, it did not end there. They pushed it further up. The moment they crossed, you see, when an activity has passed the opening price, if it is the sellers that are pushing that price, you are going to see that those guys who are in action, they are going to paint the color of theirs in the candle. What do I mean? When the price opened here, sellers, they pushed the price down to this level. Then buyers came. They took the price back to the opening. The moment they passed the opening price going up, the color of the candle changed. It changed to green because now it is buyers that are in control. Now, they pushed it up to this level. Can you see this level? Okay, that's how the price went, as high as that. But when it reached up here, all right, sellers, they came in, they started pushing the price back to the opening. But unfortunately or fortunately, they did not come to the opening, which is here. This is the opening price. Okay, so when the 4 hours session was ending, sellers could not manage to push back to the price where it opened. That's why this candlestick is still green, because it is still buyers who were in control. The volume of buyers in this candle compared to the volume of sellers in this candle, you will discover that buyers were more than sellers. So I'm saying, how did this candle come to existence? I mean, how did this upper shadow come to existence? It is buyers who opened price here and they went high up there, but for other reasons that we may not describe in this market, sellers, they came in, they started selling. They started selling. When they were selling, they created the upper shadow right there. But first, who did the activity of pushing the price high? Who did the activity of pushing the price high? It is buyers. That's why I'm saying, when you see a candle with a longer upper shadow, it simply means buyers flexed their muscle high, but a reason or another, sellers, they came in, they pushed the price back. So sometimes when sellers come in to push this price back, they come to the opening. Let me look for a candle that is red, but it is having a longer upper shadow, so that you understand what I'm simply saying. Can I find it quickly here? I think I can get it here. Let me see. Okay, yes, this one. Let's use this one. Okay, so I was saying sometimes when buyers flexed their muscle high up, can you see the market was opened here? It went high up to this level. Okay, it went high up to this level. All right, so when it went high up to this level, sellers, they came in, they pushed the price back. When they pushed the price back, it passed the opening. Okay, it passed the opening. When it passed the opening, that's why the sellers, they painted the color red, meaning to say they dominated in this session. They dominated in this session. But first, who pushed the price to this level? It was buyers who pushed the price to this level. But sellers, they came in, they pushed the price back until it passed where the price opened. Okay, until it passed where price opened. That's why at the end of the 4-hour session, sellers dominated in this particular trade session. Hence, I'm talking of longer upper shadow, how it comes about. Longer upper shadow, how it comes about. So longer upper shadow is created by buyers, because buyers, they push the muscle right up to push the price to the top. But because of other reasons in the market, sellers comes and start selling. All right, they start selling, creating this longer upper shadow right over there. Are we together, guys? How shadows are created? Are we together in terms of longer upper and longer, lower shadow? So that is a shadow that is long, which is on top. Give me 4 in the chat if you are following. Give me 4 in the chat if you are following, because you need to understand what happens in the market. When you understand this language of buyers and sellers trying to push each other, then you will know, or you're going to become a good trader, because you are going to join them. Remember, when you come, it's either first you're going to become a buyer. You cannot become a seller if you did not buy. what are you going to sell? So first you need to become a buyer. So you're gonna join these people that are pushing price up and down. I've got only one person who said I should repeat. How many people are here? 100 people. One person said I should repeat. They did not understand. I'm saying, when you come here, you see now the problem, my trading view will need to load. All right. So I'm using these shadows, or I'm using the candles that are on our trading view app, because when I use the black and white, some people, they get confused because of the colors. All right. So if you look at this candle here, this is the current candle. Okay. Can you see price is moving here? This is the current candle. All right. So when you see this current candle, there is a longer shadow already created. Okay. It simply means when the market opened here, where the body is starting, the red body is starting from the top. That's where the market opened. When it opened there, okay, when it opened there, which activity took place? It was the buying activity. When this shadow, when this candle opened here, okay, the activity that took place first, it was the buying activity. So price went high up here to this level. All right. Price went high up here to this level. Now, when it went up there, sellers, they came in, they started selling. They started selling, pushing the price back to the opening. So you can see that this price came back to where it opened. Not only that, it has also passed the opening price. Guys, there's a signal sent in the WhatsApp group. Make sure that you have taken note of that, leaders. There's a signal sent in the WhatsApp group. Make sure you have taken note of that, so that our people, they earn while they learn. We are learning here while we are earning at the same time. So I'm saying, when price opened here, opened somewhere there, okay, buyers push the price up to this level. Then sellers, they are pushing now back to the opening. They have passed the opening price. When they are pushing the price down, they have passed the opening price. That's why the candle has changed into red, meaning to say now sellers, they have taken over. Okay, they have taken over. That's why you see that the candle now is full red, because the sellers, they have passed the opening. The same like when you are playing soccer, when you come from your territory and you enter the enemy's territory, from the starting of the game, this is the center that you are starting. Then you come here, you leave your side, you enter the enemy's territory. So when it happens like this, it means you guys, you are going to paint your color this side of the enemy, because you are in control. That is what is happening here. All right. But we are focusing why the long upper shadow, why the long lower shadow, because next I'll be talking about this. What happened? Why this candle is having a long lower shadow? When you see a long lower shadow, what does that signify? When you see a long upper shadow, what does that signify? That's what we are dealing with here. Is that clear, guys? For the long upper shadow, is that clear? If it is clear, give me 5. If it is clear, give me 5 so that I can proceed. If it is clear, give me 5 so that I can proceed. Give me 5 if it is clear. Okay. All right. Now, let me conclude with the long lower shadow. The long lower shadow. Okay. Allow me to conclude this part with the long lower shadow. How does the long lower shadow comes about? All right. So you can see here that we are having this candle with a long lower shadow. We are seeing this candle here with a long lower shadow. I was speaking about this one. All right. So allow me to speak about this one. When you see a candle with a long lower shadow, what does that mean? What does that mean? What does that mean? If a long upper shadow signifies that buyers flexed their muscle high up. So it means when the candle is having a long lower shadow, it is sellers who have done the activity, because the sellers, they are good at pressing the price down. I said that sellers, they open their market from the top, then they push it down. So when you see a long lower shadow, it means the sellers, they are the ones who did this activity. Now, let's use this candle to explain that. You can see that price opened. Where did it open? Price, it opened here. This is the opening of the what? Of the price. Okay? This is the opening of the price. All right? So when the price opened, it came down up to this level. This is the low of the market. This is the high of the market. So when price came to this level, then buyers came in. They started pushing the price back to the opening. Okay? They started pushing back the price back to the opening. When they came to the opening, they did not leave it there. They did it past the opening until they painted their color. Probably let me come to trading view and explain this better with a green candle. Okay? Yeah, let me use a green candle here to explain this better. I'm looking for a candle that is having a longer, lower shadow. Okay? So let me use this one right here, this one, because it is longer than the upper shadow. So what happened is that, can you see the level of this candle? Where, I mean, the body, where the body of this candle started is almost the same with the body of this candle. Okay? So you're going to discover that when a session, the previous session is closing, okay? When the previous session is closing, where price is closing, okay? Where price is being closed, most of the times you will discover that the next session that is coming, price is going to open on the same level. That's why you see, can you see the bodies? The body of this one and this one. Can you see where this price closed and where this price opened? Can you see where this one closed and where this one opened? That's what I'm simply saying. Now, let me come here. When price opened here, which activity took place first? When price opened here, remember, this is the previous session. This is the previous session. Okay? Let me enlarge it. Let me do it like that. I want to ask you a question now. I want to ask you a question. When this session ended and this session started, okay? So when price opened right here, which activity started between buying and selling in this session? When it opened, which activity started? When this session ended and this one opened, when the price opened here, this is where the price was opened. When the price opened here, between going up and going down, which one started first? Between going up and going down, which one started first? I want to see if you are able to understand this, because that's where I am trying to give you the meaning. Give me an answer in the chat, the question that I'm asking. When price opened, which activity started first? Which activity started first? Which activity started first? I want to see which activity started first. Which activity started first? Thank you so much. selling activity. Some, they are not sure. They are not giving me answers. They are not sure. They are afraid to fail. Yes, there are people who are afraid to fail. So the selling activity started first. Okay, the selling activity started first here. So sellers started to sell, meaning to say the power that is coming from here. Can you see which power is coming from here? Which pressure? Which pressure is coming from the previous session? Is a selling pressure. So when the activity opened, when the session opened here, the pressure that came here dominated here. That's why the sellers continued their activity of selling that they are coming with from this candle. So price went as low as this low. Can you see? Then when price reached this low, buyers came in. Then they started buying. They started buying until they came back to where price was opened. Can you see there? Immediately when they cross over, immediately when they crossed over the opening price, then they painted their color. You are going to see when you are analyzing your market, the moment sellers crossed the opening price, you will see the color of the candle is going to be painted by the color of the sellers. If it is buyers who have crossed the opening price, you will see buyers painting that candle with their color. Are we together? So here, buyers opened, crossed the opening price up to this level here. That's where the session went high. When it went high here, then there was some little of selling that took place. Yeah, there are other people who reached their take profit. Yes, probably some of the members, they were from Royal Q. They started taking their 3%. Okay, they started taking their 3%. So they started selling up to this level. They never pushed the price back to the opening. Okay, so the session ended here, which is the closing of the session. All right, so I was explaining about the long lower shadow. How does it come about? So this tells you that it is pressure. I don't know if you are getting now. If you see a candle with a long lower shadow, it means there was pressure. If you see a candle with a long upper shadow, it means there was pressure for those guys. Can you see now the message that I'm trying to communicate across? When you see a candle with a longer lower shadow, you should understand that there is pressure. If these guys continue to push, you will see that the market is going to go up. When you see longer shadows like this, longer lower shadows, you are going to see that eventually the market will go up. If you see longer upper shadows, you should know that anytime that pressure will dominate. As a result, price will go down. Yes, because we are talking of longer upper shadows, which is created by sellers. Longer upper shadows is created by sellers. Are we together? So this is one area that you need to understand. How does longer lower shadows and longer upper shadows comes about? Is that understood? Is that understood? Because I want to change the gear now. I want to change the gear. I want to change the gear. Is that understood? Is that understood? Did I leave you on top? Did I leave you on top? If it is understood, then give me yes. If it is understood, give me yes. If it is understood, give me yes. Okay. Now, allow me to continue now. Where are we going? We are putting in another gear extra to this. All right. Now, let me come back to the trading view again so that we take our gear from there. So, after understanding, first, if you are able to read parts of a candlestick, one candlestick, okay, and you start getting information, valuable information that the candle is giving you, you are going to see that in the process of time, okay, if you are trading in 1 hour time frame, you are trading in 4 hours time frame, you are trading in 1 day time frame, you are going to discover that these candles, they are going to form a pattern of candles, meaning to say many candles are going to be formed. Okay, many candles are going to be formed. In the process of one candle forming, as time goes by, you are going to see a development which is called a pattern of candles. Are we together? You see this candle is going to form another candle, and another candle will follow suit. As a result, if you are trading in 4 hour time frame and you have completed almost a day, you are going to see a pattern of candles that are painted on your screen. So that's what we call candlestick chart pattern. Now we are coming now to read that pattern. When so many candles have developed and they have painted a pattern, when we come and read the pattern, what are we doing? Now we are understanding the language of the market. I'm saying we are going into another gear. So you need to follow me closely now. You need to follow me closely now. Okay? You need to follow me closely now. If the market, if the candles that are forming, they are forming going down like this, or they are forming going up like this, in the process of going down, if you are going to count the candles, if you are able to read the candles, you are going to see different types of candles forming, or probably some of the candles are alike, they are the same, but they have formed what we call a downtrend. They have formed a trend first, and because the market is going down, that's why that trend is called downtrend. If the trend that is formed, prices are going up, you will see that candles are forming what we call upward trend. And when you read the upward trend, you are going to see different candles forming, making the upward trend. That upward trend of candles, when you read it, you are going to see that it is a formation of candles, which is called a pattern. It is called a pattern. Okay? Yes. Now we are going to read, we are going to go into detailed about patterns. When we discuss about patterns, what are we doing? We are understanding, or we are reading the language of the market, because candlestick chart patterns, they are the language of the market. Because you can see here, for example, if I can extend here, if I can enlarge here, okay, if I can enlarge here, you can see a couple of red candles that formed here. Okay, a couple of red candles that formed here. You can see that sellers, they were communicating. This is a language that was being spoken here. When the market was going down, sellers, they were talking to each other going down. As a result, at the end, they have left a pattern that we can read and understand what sellers were talking about when the market was going down. That's what I'm trying to simplify. What is a candlestick chart pattern? It is a composition of candles together. It is a composition of candles together, giving us a valuable information of what happened in the market. That's what we call a candlestick chart pattern. Here, you can see the market went a little bit up from here. After it went down, it went up. So you can see a couple of candles that were going up here. All right. So we are simply saying, before a market starts to rise to go up, there is something that you are going to monitor. There is something that you are going to pick that caused this upward trend. If the market was going down, before it started to go down, you are going to read a certain candle that gives you valuable information. For example, what did I say about a long lower shadow? I mean upper shadow. What did I say? If you remember very well, what did I say about a long lower shadow? Can you see here? Can you see what I'm talking about? What is this and what is this? When this appeared, what happened next? I want you to give me an answer. When this longer upper shadow happened, what happened next? When this longer lower shadow happened, what happened next? You tell me. I'm just giving you some keys here. I'm giving you some clues. That's why I'm saying you are going to lane. Once you know one candle, then you're going to lane about more candles together, the language they are talking. So I was giving you about shadows, long shadows. This one is a long lower shadow. This one is a long upper shadow. What did I say about long upper shadow? What did I say about long lower shadow? And what happened here? And what happened here? Does it make sense, guys? Does it make sense when I was talking about pressure? Does it make sense? Am I talking to myself or I'm talking to somebody? Am I talking to myself or I'm talking to somebody? So you can pick that, look, guys, something is going to happen. Few hours from now or one day from now, the market is going to change direction because of this. Look at what these guys are doing here. If it makes sense, give me yes. If it makes sense, give me yes. If it makes sense what I'm talking about. Because we want to read the language that sellers speaks in the market and the language that buyers speaks in the market. So when we join them, we are able to speak with them together. We can only do that if we understand the language. This is just the beginning. We did not go deep yet, but it's just the beginning. All right. So don't get lost when I go deep. I'm putting a little bit of some gears going down or we are going up. I don't know. It will depend on you. It will depend on you. All right. So let's proceed. I'm trying to lay a foundation on what are candlestick chart patterns. I'm saying candlestick chart patterns, they are a language of the market. Candlestick chart patterns, they are a language of the market. They are one of the most powerful trading concepts. Okay? They are one of the most powerful trading what? Concepts. They are easy. Okay? They are easy. All right? And they are simple to identify. They are easy and they are simple to identify. You can know that here the market went down here. The market went down here. The market went up. So there was some sort of a downtrend that took place here, or there was some sort of an upward trend that took place here. That's why I'm saying it is easy to identify that in this case, what happened to my case now? Something has happened here. Allow me to stop sharing screen so that I can bring my cursor back. Okay. All right. So let me share my screen again. My cursor disappeared. I couldn't access it. So let me share my screen again. I'm still on candlestick chart patterns. We are moving step by step. All right, we've got this week that we are closing today and the next week before Leader Julius comes. Remember, it's a syllabus. All right, so I'm not gonna be moving at a terrific speed. I want you to follow slowly until we are done with the candlestick chart patterns. All right, before you learn how to draw support and resistance on candlestick chart patterns, you should understand what are those candlestick chart patterns first. All right, that's why I'm saying it's a step by step. We are moving step by step. All right, so I was saying, when you look at this market here, when you look at this market here, okay, you can see that there is some ups and downs that are taking place. All right, so some of the ups, when they are happening, there is a pointer. There is a pointer that points you that something is going to happen. It may not happen now, but probably 4 hours from now, or probably 1 day from now, something is going to happen. And which one is that? Change of direction of the market. The market is going to change direction. If it was going downward, it is going to go upward. If it was going upward, it's going to go downward. All right. So when you check closely here before this movement starts, you will see that there is a candle that is going to point you to the downtrend. Okay. Before this upward went happened, there is a candle that's gonna open you, that's gonna point you to the upward movement of this market. All right. So this is what we call a candlestick chart pattern. We are still on this one. What are candlestick chart patterns? They are a language of the market. They are easy and simple to identify. They are easy and simple to identify. Okay, so these are powerful trading concepts. These are powerful trading concepts. Candlestick chart patterns, they are powerful trading concepts. You need to understand that. These are powerful trading concepts. So they are easy and simple to identify. Is that clear? Can we go a little bit further? Can we go a little bit further on this one? I said I want to take you step by step. Can we go a little bit further from there? Okay, let me proceed now so that we wrap up for the day. All right. Now, as I've said, that the candlestick patterns, they are the language of the market. So imagine, okay, imagine you have relocated to Uganda. I just want to give you an example. You have relocated to Uganda. Yeah, probably you are coming from Nigeria. Now you have relocated to Uganda and you don't understand Luganda. When Leader Julius and them, they are talking, it's like they are planning to kill you because you don't know what they are talking about. So you are going to get lost. You're not going to be part of the conversation. All right? Yes. If people are speaking a language that you don't understand, you get puzzled and you start wondering, what are they saying? Because you don't understand the language. So if you don't understand the language, can you participate? Can you be part of the conversation? No, you're not going to be part of the conversation unless you learn first. So when you understand the language of the market, you are going to be a good trader because you are one of them. Am I making myself clear? Am I making myself clear? When you understand the language of candlestick chart patterns, you are going to become a good trader. You will know when to enter the market. You will know when to exit the market because now you are able to read and understand the language. Okay? So I said that we're going to be moving step by step. I don't want us to rush. I want to take you step by step. Now, the next session, we're gonna look at different types of candlestick chart patterns that we mostly find in the market. Okay, in our next session, we're gonna look at different types of candlestick chart patterns. So I want to end here and probably take some questions if they are there. Anybody with questions, guys? Anybody with questions? Okay, I see Adrian. Adrian's hand is up. I'm gonna pick your hand. Anybody with questions? But ask me questions of what I have taught today. All right? Yeah, there are people who will ask you something. Adrian, I'm picking your hand. Where are you now, Adrian? Your hand was up, Adrian. Where are you, Adrian? Oh, you are afraid because I said, ask me something that I have taught. Probably you wanted to ask me something that you did not understand before you joined the Zoom. Anyone with a question, let me check in the chat. Let me check in the chat. Okay, I'm picking the hand of Birungi and guys, when you raise your hand, you must raise your hand on the participants. Don't raise the hand in the chat because I cannot see it. You must raise your hand on the participants. Don't raise your hand in the chat. Yes. All right, Birungi, Sarah, Birungi, and who else? I saw, okay, Edrin and Sarah, yes. Sarah, Birungi, and Edrin. Just raise your hand in the participants so that I'm able to allow you to unmute. When you raise your hand in the chat, I cannot allow you to unmute quickly. Let me look for you guys. You see now I have to scroll and find out where you are. But when you raise it in the participants, then I'm able to pick you quickly and bring you to the microphone. Yes. Where are these guys now? Sarah and Adrian. Those are the two hands I have picked from there. Sarah and Adrian. I don't see them now. Okay, here is Sarah. Okay, Sarah Birungi. Yes, please ask your question. I have allowed you to unmute. Sarah, you can ask your question. You can unmute yourself. I have allowed you to do so.
Okay, thank you so much, leader, for the opportunity. Good
right,
morning to everyone. My question.
Yes, you're loud.
Yes. Are you getting me?
Yes, please go ahead.
Leader, thank you so much for that training. For me, my question is about like previously when we were starting, you discussed for us how to like these bars. Someone can choose lines, others can choose the bars as we are seeing right now. So can it be possible for someone who has used the lines to interpret them as we are interpreting the candles right now? Can it be possible?
Okay.
Or for them, they also have their own ways of interpretation? That is my
Is that
question,
the
sir.
question? Oh, okay.
Yes. Can the lines or anything else be interpreted the same way as we are using the what? Our candles,
The candles.
Eh,
Yeah.
in
If
case
you
someone
okay.
uses other options.
All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. I've heard your question. I think you have picked it from yesterday when I was showing you about the bars and lines, comparing them to candles. So I said that candles, they are easy, okay? They are easy to interpret, or candles, they are flexible, all right? Candles, they are flexible simply because you are able to understand them better or quicker than if you are to use a line. There are people who are analyzing the market using a line, but I'm saying candles, they are easy. The candles, they are easy to interpret, all right? They will help us easy to interpret than someone who is using a line or a bar. So those that are good at interpreting the market using lines, they can do so. But I'll just bringing a comparative to compare the two, or to compare candles to other charts that you can use. You can use bars, you can use lines to interpret or to analyze market. But I'm saying candles is easy for one to understand or to interpret. So if you are good with lines, you can use lines. If you are good with bars, you can use bars. But here we are focusing on candles. So that's why I made my emphasis there, so that you understand. Probably one could ask, why are we using candles instead of lines? That's why I was bringing that on the platform. Is that okay, Sarah? Did I answer your question? All right. Thank you so much, Sarah. Simon, what is your question? I'm allowing you to unmute, Simon. I'm allowing you to unmute. You can unmute yourself, Simon.
Yes, good morning, leaders and everyone in this Zoom meeting.
Please, can you speak up? You are a little bit down.
I said good morning, leaders and everyone in this Zoom meeting.
Yes, good morning. At least now.
Simon.
Yeah.
I'm Simon from Guldo. I have a humble request to you, leader, because at the moment, people wanted to join the Zoom meeting, but there's a limit of 100. Can you adjust that one so that people will be in position to join? That's my humble request.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about Zoom, the number of participants. Okay.
Yes.
That one is noted. I'm sure Crypto Ambassadors Leadership is looking into that. So it's going to be sorted. But currently, you can use the YouTube channel to attend this meeting because it's live.
It's okay. Thank you.
Yeah, but your request has been noted. The leadership is looking into that. Alan, what is your question? Alan? Alan, I'm allowing you to unmute. What is your question, Alan? When I allow you to unmute, don't mute yourself. Yes, Alan, unmute now. Alan, unmute, yes. Oh, you are muting and unmuting, yes. Please unmute now.
Good morning, leader, and everyone in the Zoom.
Yes, please ask your question.
Leader, you said earlier that when there are longer shadows, it means there will be a buy candle, but I saw the earlier candle that you showed us remains red, meaning there were sellers.
So what is the question?
The question is that I expected the candle that had a longer shadow to turn green. Because they said when there are longer shadows, the candle will go up and to turn green.
Okay, all right. If you listen to me very well, I was saying the color of the candle can only change if those that are in control have crossed the opening price. That's when the color of the candle will change. Yes, the color will only change if those that are taking over, they have managed to cross the opening price of the market. If they don't open the opening price of the market, even though they have pushed the price further, whether up or down, the color of the candle will still remain. Is that clear? The color will only change once opening price has been passed by those that are pushing the price that moment. Then expect the color to change. But if they don't cross the opening, the color will not change. Is that okay? All right. Thank you so much. Who is this Hangai? Hangai, what is your question? I'm going to end with Hangai. Unless there's a question in the chat. But Hangai, what is your question? Yes, please.
Yes, coach. Good morning.
Yes, good morning.
My question is on the candle pattern, the chart pattern.
Right. Yes.
You said there are two chart patterns. It can be downtrend or upward trend. But in the trading view, we might be able to see this trend in different time frame. It can be 1 hour, it can be 4 days, it can be 4 hours, or even a week. So my first question is there a possibility that you might have a time frame for maybe 1 day showing maybe upward trend, and if you switch to maybe 4 hours time frame, it could be a different trend, maybe downtrend. And if that's possible, what is a good time frame for doing analysis to pick up a trade? Thank you.
You said that's the first question. What is the second question?
So the second question is a follow-up question from the first one. If it is possible for us to see maybe uptrend in 1 day time frame, and if you switch to 4 hours time frame, it might be showing a different trend, maybe downward trend. So which one is a good time frame for you to do an analysis?
All right. Thank you so much for that question. First, we did not discuss about any chart patterns. I only spoke about trends. So I spoke about two trends, which is a downtrend and upward trend. All right. That's what I spoke about. I did not speak about any chart patterns. We did not start about the types of chart patterns yet. All right. So when you are doing your analysis, remember you want to find a possible entry, possible earlier entry. So it means you needed to do your analysis in a longer time frame. So we said do your analysis. If you do analysis in 4 hours, stick with that 4 hours. Because if you analyze a market in one day, then you change and then you become to try and analyze the market in 4 hours, you will find that if in one day there is an opportunity, you come and switch to 4 hours, you discover that there is no opportunity. All right, you're gonna find that you might find a downtrend in 4 hours and find an uptrend in one day. So stick to one frame or one time frame that you'll be doing your analysis. It's gonna help you. You're not gonna get confused. All right. So what we are simply saying, do your analysis in a longer time frame. Why? Because you want to find a possible earlier entry in the short time frame. So when you do your analysis, for example, in 4 hours, when you come in 1 hour time frame, you discover that you might find a possible opportunity to enter the market. So the analysis can be correct if it is done in a longer time frame. You don't do analysis in a short time frame. No, do in a longer time frame so that you can find a possible earlier entry in the short time frame. But I'm saying if you analyze market in 4 hours, stick with 4 hours. If you do analysis of your market in one day, stick with 1 day time frame so that you find an opportunity in 4 hour time frame. Are we together?
Yes. Understood.
Yeah. Did I answer the question now?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Okay, all right. So guys, thank you so much. I think that is the question that came last by Hangai. I don't see any question in the chat. So that allows us to call it a day. We are going to meet again on Monday. We're going to proceed from here where we have ended today. I was laying a foundation on the candlestick chart pattern. So on Monday, we are going to go into detail. We're going to go into detail about candlestick chart patterns, different types of candlestick chart patterns. All right, those that influences the market to go up and those that influences the market to go down. All right, so we'll be looking at them one by one, but we're going to look at most likely chart patterns. We cannot manage to go all of them, but we're going to look at most likely chart patterns. That's the ones we'll be looking at. So don't miss next week's session, because here we were only doing building blocks. Yes, we were only doing building blocks. So the real food is coming next week, where we're going to go into understanding the Luganda language. If you want to speak Luganda, yes, if you want to be in Nigeria and speak one of the languages there, you need to join them and learn the language. So let's come together next week and join the buyers and sellers so that we are able to learn their language and we become professional traders. This is extra knowledge. Yes, extra knowledge apart from using our amazing Royal Q robot. So let's call it a day. We're going to meet again.
All right, guys. Have a nice day. Bye, everybody. Thank you for attending. See you on Monday. Love you all and bye-bye. Check on our official private Telegram channel. We have been able to post our Crypto Ambassador latest videos of our previous classes. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.